Hello, Bigfoot enthusiast. Scott here from Squatch America.
And Hannah, the domestic goddess, in the paddy wagon tonight, where it is only hotter than flip-flopping Hades.
It is. So we've got the AC running in the background. I hope it's not that annoying. So how's it going, everybody? Hi, Renee and Budget Off-Road
B. I don't know what that means, but it sounds like a heck of a lot of fun.
It does.
Michelle and Donald.
And so welcome. And I need to turn this off. My phone just told me to go online.
It's time for the show.
It's time for the show. Okay. So, all right. So we got a great show for you tonight. We're going to do some.
Really?
Yeah, actually, we're going to do some Bigfooting 101.
Can I share with them the low light of my day?
Quickly.
And John, if you're listening, you're going to appreciate this.
That's John from Prepper Nation.
Yeah. John from Prepper Nation. I did a thing today that you'll be so proud of because I am a coffee snob. You already know that. And I bought a can of store brand coffee. Today.
I know. It's horrible.
I tucked it away for emergency use only.
Okay, there we go.
Play the intro.
All right.
You don't have the intro up.
No, we're going to do some. I was in the middle of telling you we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about Bigfooting 101, some of the stuff that came up this week for me, and some updates on the new truck, and some updates on that Bigfoot photo that we took. So stay tuned to towards the end, because we're going to show you a Bigfoot you haven't seen before. So that's going to be awesome. So let's get into this. All right, so folks, tonight we want to talk about some wonderful stuff. What happened to me this week was I had a gal, her name's Amy, and she's doing something from the Institute of Children's Literature, and she's doing a book on Bigfooting for children. Basically.
I love it.
So,
oh my God. Would you turn off your South Park phone?
I know.
Okay. True confessions. I love this man dearly. If y'all didn't know, this is our 25th anniversary month, and I'm celebrating it all month. He's putting up with me while I do it. But and I don't have a lot of complaints about him, but his ringtones.
She hates my ringtones. She hates my ringtones. All right. So
he's killed Kenny so many times.
I know. So anyway. So I was on an interview with her for her book this week, and she asked me some questions. And
just talk.
Hannah's pushing stuff. Okay.
So
what I'm going to do is I have the questions that she asked me, because she sent them ahead of time to me in an email, and then we got on the phone and I answered the questions for her. But I thought it was really cool. She had asked me about Bigfooting and like do's and don'ts and things like that for like a novice. And I thought, that's something we've never really talked about on the show a whole lot. I mean, we've hit on things like little things here and there, over the years, but
we've never ever done an episode where we take Bigfooting with beginner's mind.
Yeah, with beginners in mind. So we're doing
beginner's mind is a phrase from yoga. It's where like an intermediate or an advanced practitioner of yoga, and you're printing again.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's where an intermediate or advanced practitioner goes back to the very beginning and approaches it as if they knew nothing.
Right.
So that's beginner's mind.
So we're going to do that. So I'm going to be throwing probably 25 years of experience at you in 40 minutes. So we're gonna try to do this. So one, you want to be the interviewer? And
I would love to.
and I will be the answeree.
Okay. I just had something highly inappropriate that I should have said.
Don't even go there.
I know. You probably already know. Okay. So, as an avid researcher, what type of environment do you feel would best sustain a Bigfoot?
I'm glad you asked. So, as far as environment goes, what I've had in the past is my best success in Bigfooting has been following reports. So if you want to see a Bigfoot, you should know where they're at, when they're at, and when they're in a certain area. As far as habitat goes, let's start there first. Habitat is pretty much everywhere you can find a black bear, you can find a Bigfoot, or bears in general. Basically, same diet, same habitat. So that's the first place you look. You do not find a lot of Bigfoot in deserts.
They don't like tarantulas and Gila monsters, I guess.
Yeah. And so
neither do I, so we're good.
But you don't necessarily have to find them in arboreal forests either. I mean, they are in grasslands in Kansas and Ohio and
Nebraska.
You do see them in those places. We do get reports in those places, so you can find them there. But one of the best things to do is to do a little internet research, and do like the BFRO's got a good site. I mean, we don't actually have the information on our site yet. Wink, wink. But there's actually an app for your phone. You can go look it up. I have it on here. I use it a lot myself. It's called the Bigfoot. Come on, focus. Oh, it's opening. There it is. It's called the Bigfoot Map Project. And if you look,
we should put a link to that in our next.
Yeah, I'll after the show, I'll throw a link in there. But you can download it for your phone, for iPhone or
the other kind.
Android, which is what I have. And it basically will give you a map of recent sightings and stuff like that. This is a really good app to have. You can just basically look where you're at and see where the recent sightings are in that area.
So basically, the best environment that best sustains Bigfoot is where bears are. Okay.
Same habitat, same dietary.
Applegate Zoo in downtown Merced?
Absolutely. No.
Okay. All right. Question number 2. What safety measures should be taken before tracking a Bigfoot?
Oh, I got to say it. We got to show some. I just saw a chat. Ron Fuller says
Don.
one of those, or Don, I'm sorry. Don Fuller said one of those red dots is his. That's awesome. Yay. Actually, one of those red dots is mine too. So that's fun.
And Renee has that app.
Okay.
So
excellent.
All right.
Excellent.
What safety measures should be taken before tracking Bigfoot?
All right. Do not poke a bear. Okay, there's that one. Safety measures when you're tracking Bigfoot. One, you're going into the woods. So you need to do the general go into the woods stuff.
Going on a lion hunt.
Yeah.
I ain't scared. I got my gun on my shoulder and my bullets too. Whoa. Sorry. That's how we learned to go on any kind of hunt, was around campfire singing.
Campfire songs. So one, take some time, map out the area you're going to be at. Get a map. You can get them a lot of places.
Can people read maps anymore?
I don't know. If you can't, buy a GPS, but they don't always work. So learn how to read a map. Adonna says tick repellent. That's a plus. All right. But map and compass, just do a Google search of the area, and you can print out like the Google aerial of the area, and that can help you a lot too. One, know the area. Two, water. Take water or have a way to purify it. This is basic camping 101. Take extra food in case you don't get home that night, or the next day, or the next day, or the next day.
And we'll have some recommendations for that in just a few minutes.
Yeah. All right. Rain gear or extra clothing because it does get cold at night, and if you're stuck in the woods at night, that might help. First aid kit. It doesn't have to be fancy. Just basically stop the bleeding stuff. And you can have like 550 cord for splints or whatever, stuff like that. Take a knife or a multi-purpose tool. That's one of the things that I always have. My knife in my pocket. Okay.
Is that the pretty one I bought you last?
No, it's
winter?
a Kershaw. It's a good one.
No, I bought you that really nice one.
I know.
Where's that?
Hanging up. Also on my belt, I always have a multi-tool. And also on my belt, I carry a ferrocerium rod just to start a fire. That's the next thing on the list. Have something to start a fire. I also keep in my pockets all the time is I have a Bic lighter, and I wrap some duct tape around it because you can actually take little strips of duct tape, light it, and you got your fire starter. Those are in my pocket all the time. I mean, every day. This is my everyday stuff that I just.
Shall we tell them how many times they've been washed and how clean they are? They've been to the laundromat
a lot.
Times? He's got the cleanest fire starters in the world.
Yes, I do. Okay. Yeah, and like I said, if you use a map, use a compass, go old school. I see Don talking about that.
I love you, my friend.
Okay, what she's laughing at is Flat Rock just said a cooler full of Hannah's recipe dinners. That's a plus.
Oh, you know what? I tell you what, even before I started health coaching, how did we eat camping? Describe our normal camping dinners.
Pretty much mountain house, dehydrated stuff.
No.
Oh no, when we were not hiking, you mean?
Yeah, when we go camping.
When we go camping, yeah, she was like gourmet meals all the time.
I love it. In fact, we probably eat better when we're camping than we do when we're at home.
Yep.
So yeah.
So that, and another thing I always keep on my belt, and you should take with you when you go to the woods, is a flashlight. So keep a headlamp or a flashlight with you when you go into the woods. And sunscreen, bug spray, tick repellent, depending on the season, and some kind of shelter, just something to keep the rain off you at night. Just even those little tiny, we have a couple of them that we keep in the truck, those space blankets. We keep a couple of those in the truck. We always keep we keep hammocks in the truck too.
And sleeping bags.
Bags and stuff like that. But
so we're ready to bug out at a moment's notice. Anyway, I like what David said. Why don't you bring that up?
What's he say? Yeah.
I if you get off trails like I do, wear snake boots. What is a machete? Have a machete. A hand axe, fire starter, a GPS can be valuable. And everything else you've mentioned. Yeah, and because you've got to be prepared for no cell service.
Yeah, absolutely. Bear spray. Here's another one. David just threw up bear spray. There's other things I keep on me too that YouTube gripes about if we were to flash those on screen.
Well, personal protective devices. PPE. How about that?
Yeah, personal protective equipment. There we go.
And Don says, don't trust the GPS, use a map and compass old school. That's actually probably the best idea.
That is the best idea. I mean, we, when I was in the military, one of my favorite things was land nav, and I loved it. I was really good at it. And, shooting azimuths and walking miles through the forest and end up where you wanted to go is an amazing thing. So that's something to practice.
Yeah. Okay. Before we continue, let's talk about the food that you should take with you. We have get the ad ready.
Oh, is it ad time?
It is ad time.
Okay.
We have stocked up not just on emergency food, but also on MREs. And,
yes, you can buy them from.
We're going to go there right now. Play
Friends,
the thing.
American farmers recently warned us about food shortages. They're not going to be able to grow enough food this year because of an off-the-charts fertilizer shortage. This means you need to stockpile emergency food if you don't have some. Get prepared with My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest preparedness company, proudly offering Ready Hour brand products because they're the very best. Click on our affiliate link below and stock up now. These kits provide breakfast, lunch, dinners, drinks, and snacks, totaling over 2,000 calories a day. You won't go hungry when you have enough food. Click our affiliate link below. Don't let your family suffer. Act now while there's still time.
Okay, so My Patriot Supply does offer MREs, and they're complete MREs. They have the little heaters in them and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And what I wanted to say is we bought a case for both of us. So we each have it. They even have gluten-free options.
Yay.
I wish they had blood sugar friendly options, but you do what you got to do. But so a lot of people say, well, that's really expensive. Mm-hmm. And I'm well aware that one of the biggest reasons why people don't buy this stuff is because they feel it's expensive. However, I priced it out, and for the MREs, I think there were 12 in a pack.
Mm-hmm. There's 12 in a case.
12 in a case. We got 2 cases for roughly $250. That's about just over $10 for an entire day's worth, because each MRE is enough for one day.
Yeah.
That's
2,000 calories.
Yeah, it's about $10 a day to eat, maybe 11. And people go, well, that's a lot of money per day. And actually it's not, because the average American, and if you are the average American, you're spending $15 to $20 a day on food for yourself alone. And so really, buying the MREs, buying the emergency food in the long run is more economical than what you're spending on food now. I know none of you believe me. I did not believe it when I read it first, but I analyzed our normal food spending, and it was like $35-40 a day for the two of us. Mm-hmm. Just normal grocery shopping. Anyway, so buy your MREs. Click on our affiliate link below and get some MREs for when you go out squatching.
Yep, there you go.
Okay. Are there certain times of day you recommend investigating?
Yes.
Dark time, right?
No.
Okay.
The time of day is anytime. We go out during the day a lot of times because that's when you can see things with your eyes. That's when the time of day I go out is usually in the afternoons, till about noon on. Usually when we're in the woods looking for Bigfoot, we stay up kind of late, so we sleep in the morning, go out about noon. But when I'm out looking during the day is when you can see footprints. You can, find structures and things like that. So that's the best time to do that, to look for that stuff, is during the day. A lot of times when we're hiking and looking for footprints, the best place to go is along a bank of some sort, lake bank, river bank, pond bank. That's where the mud is. That's where the footprints are. Usually you don't find footprints tracking around in the middle of the forest somewhere in the middle of nowhere, because usually they don't leave prints there because the ground's usually hard. There's a lot of, forest loam, leaves and stuff, and you don't leave footprints in that stuff. You can leave tracks and trails, you can see them, but they don't typically leave footprints. So there's that.
Michelle suggests when you go squatching, you just bring the travel trailer.
Yeah.
Sadly,
I am
the domestic goddess in the paddy wagon. And this is where I prefer to hang out on these squatching trips. Where he prefers to hang out is a good 10 miles in forest from the travel trailer.
Yeah. So that's it. Yeah.
So
Then in the evenings, usually when, believe it or not, 90% of all sightings, literal visual sightings, happen during the day. Did you know that? Not at night. There's a lot of sounds and scary shadows at night, but literal sightings generally happen during the day. Surprise, surprise.
Flat Rock has a good comment.
What's it say?
He likes looking at daytime at the nearest creek near where they are clear cutting.
Yep.
You're going to get a lot of pissed off forest dwellers with all that clear cutting.
Yep. That usually happens. Or follow the food is another thing.
Yep, follow the food.
That might be another question.
What about power lines?
That's another thing. That's another weird thing that we have found over the years is when they do power line cuts or pipeline cuts through the woods, usually that creates a basically highway through the woods for animals. People don't travel them. Very rarely, you might have the odd power company dude drive through checking the power lines, but that's once a year, maybe. I don't know if that. But it also creates a highway for deer. Deer travel that a grassy area between the trees. Good feeding for deer, elk, all the.
Which means good feeding for Bigfoot.
Yes, which means good feeding for Bigfoot.
Yeah. So okay.
So we do a lot of traveling of power lines.
All right. So what gear should investigators carry with them? Now we've already gone over safety gear. And preparation gear. So let's actually talk about squatching gear.
Squatching gear. 1, a camera, even your phone works fine. 2, a tape measure of some sort. I keep one in the truck, one in my backpack. Always. They make these little tiny, like 16-foot ones that you can put in your pocket.
You can go to the dollar store and get a little sewing kit, and they've got paper tape measures right in there too.
That's it too. Yeah, anything like those sewing ones. What are those called?
Tape measures.
Tape measures. Okay. But anyway, so.
But they're just bendy to go around your body parts rather than metallic.
Right. So
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You need something to measure with. Always have something to measure with. Because when you do find that footprint, you're going to be sticking pine cones and stuff next to it to show me the size of it in a photo. And I don't know how big that pine cone is. Or a lot of times people will take a picture with their foot next to them. And then I can usually they send me the photo and I send them back a message. What size shoe do you wear? Basically. So we can figure out
this. And the women always lie.
Yeah, that's true too. All right.
Okay. Any other squatching? Would you stop reading the comments?
Okay, I'm just reading.
Any other squatching gear?
Gear for squatching. Of course, your plaster Paris or fix it all. I use that more than I do plaster Paris in the woods. There's fancier, more expensive things, but just off the shelf, any hardware store's got plaster Paris.
David offers night vision and sound recorder.
Yeah, something to record sound with. You can use your phone. In fact, it's not here. In fact, of course, my new phone doesn't have the audio jack in it, which sucks. I had a really nice microphone I could plug into my phone that picked up really well. But I also have recording. I have really nice Tascam audio recorder now. So.
But most fourth graders are not going to have night vision.
Right. They're not going to have night vision or, so take flashlights. Here's a trick. If you got a flashlight and you can get some kind of red reflector or what is it?
Like cellophane or
the cellophane, you can get this red cellophane to patch your blinkers on your car from auto parts stores. Cover it with something red, or you can actually buy red flashlights, or you can get red headlamps. They're pretty common, which really helps because the color red does not destroy your night vision. So if you're looking around, your eyes will adjust to the flashlight. But if you're using a red flashlight, your eyes doesn't adjust; it stays dark. So uh, when you look away from your flashlight, you still have your night vision.
Okay. We're going to be introducing someone here shortly, but Budget says, I think when you start talking about special equipment, you put people off. My advice is stop making excuses and get in the woods. I like him more and more.
Yeah, that's very.
You don't
very
mince words, do you, my friend?
That's awesome. Yeah, you don't need any special equipment. I mean, there's a lot. 90% of the time, I don't take. I do have thermal camera and all that stuff, and a lot of times I'll never have it with me.
So I got it. Can I throw you under the bus just for
Sure.
kicks and giggles? Okay. So years ago, he begged me to buy him a fancy dancy camera setup so he could take good photos and videos. And I acquiesced because women, you know it, and your husband starts nagging you for something and you just want peace in your life. Anyway, you never do that, do you?
Never
We won't
happened.
talk about the truck, will we?
Well, we're actually going to later.
I know. Anyway, so I bought him this beautiful Canon setup, right, Canon?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how often he actually remembers to take it out of the truck before he goes somewhere?
Yeah. I even got fancy lenses for it too. Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
So Budget's right. Donna says you just need to hike routinely and be observant.
That's
And
another.
that's true.
That's true too. That's something else I'm going to get to later.
All
I think
right.
it's another question.
So,
Okay.
what is your method of tracking?
Oh, that's just what we were talking about. Okay, my method of tracking is one: leave the camera at home. You are not going to sneak up on one of these things, no matter what. You're not that stealthy. In fact, I think Army snipers aren't that stealthy. So there's that. So my method is walk through the woods like you're walking through the woods, not like you're hunting, like you're walking through the woods. I mean, usually I go out with people and we're just chatting and talking and walking.
Talk.
Okay. So that's one method. Just be casual, be a curiosity to them, and you got a better chance of running across them. Another thing is, like I said before, follow creek beds, power lines, stuff like that. That's a good thing to track with. What are you doing? Okay.
Just talk.
All right.
He is so distractible.
All right. So there's that, and
now you forgot what you're answering.
the other thing is if you want to up your chances of running across a Bigfoot in the woods, you got to up your chances of running across a Bigfoot in the woods. In other words, you can't go for a couple hours in one evening, one day, and hope to find a Bigfoot or hope to find some evidence. I find footprints probably every other year. It took me 25 years to actually see a Bigfoot, but I spend 100 or more days a year at least in the woods. In fact, the last couple years, that's where we lived. Actually,
I miss that life.
Yeah, I know. And we'll get back to it, but since we sold everything and lived in a camper, we'd lived in the woods. So there's that. You got to put the time in if you want to be successful at it. Like I said, it's in every weekend.
So with that
same
said,
thing, yeah.
Next time you come in and say, dang it, I wish we'd win the lottery. Same concept. If you want to win the lottery, you got to play
the lottery. There you go.
You can't buy one ticket and hope, although that does happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so are there, so your method of tracking, did you talk about your method?
That's what we just did.
Okay, that's what that was?
Time in the woods, be casual, walk, keep your eyes open, go where they are. Basically, that's it.
Okay. Are there particular signs of a Bigfoot habitat that an investigator should look for?
Okay, particular signs. Food, water. That's the particular signs. You got to go where they can eat and where they can drink and where they can be protected. Food, water, shelter, which is the woods. Pretty much. I mean, there's some places that don't have a lot of food, don't have a lot of water, or some that don't have a lot of shelter. If you put yourself where there's all three of those things, is you're better off. So you're looking for berries, deer, elk, meat,
Fish.
meat and vegetables, fish, frogs. They eat frogs. I figured that out.
So do your Cajun cousins.
Yeah, so do my Cajun cousins. So, but anyway, there's that. But so yeah, food, water, shelter. Just that's the place to find them.
Okay. Oh my gosh, look who's on. Hal and Harry on the prairie. I hope. Yeah, good to see you, bro. Anyway, Donna says, truthfully, it's just luck. And where you find them, then they're there always. Did you want to do the little clicky thing on that or what?
On what?
I don't know. You're doing weird stuff.
On Donna? Oh.
Donna, yeah. It's just luck. And, and you increase your luck if you are where they're likely to be found. I mean, Donna stumbled on an amazing trackway and it's there all the time. They can bulldoze it and it's there the next day.
So yeah, that's the sort of thing you need to, if you can find a place like a hot spot, basically is what they're called in Bigfoot world. If you find a hot spot, that's your spot.
Yep.
Something very interesting, and this is a show for another time, but if you find a hot spot or a place you like that's promising, when you go into the woods, sit down. I guess this would be in my techniques. Sit down and listen.
Sit down and listen. Be quiet. You've got to sit and just be.
Just be. There's this mental thing. The word just escaped my brain. But
meditation.
No, it's not meditation. Maybe you can remember what it is. It's a thing in your brain. So when you're walking into the woods and you're walking in and you're looking for things, and this is something we learned in the military too. When you're war fighting and you're out in the stuff.
It's your reticular activating system.
Your reticular activating system. That's what I was looking for. Yes, your brain will tune out things that it doesn't need for the mission, basically. In other words, when you're walking through the woods and you're looking for somebody to snipe you or whatever, your brain will tune out the birds. It'll tune out the flies. It'll tune out the sounds off in the distance, the train horns.
It'll tune out the perfectly edible wild raspberries growing next to you that you could be enjoying in that moment. Yet you're looking for a sniper.
Yeah. So it'll tune out the things you're not looking for.
There's
automatically.
A little bit of marital discussion happening right there.
Yeah, it's a thing. It'll tune her out. So anyway, there's that. But no. But if you ever notice, if you go into the woods and you sit down and you stop looking and you stop thinking and you just sit there and listen, all of a sudden you'll start hearing birds you didn't hear before. You'll hear the crickets, stuff like that. The woods will come alive. And in fact, I said this once in that Oregon documentary they did on me. You need to sit and listen. Just relax. And then the woods will come alive for you, and you'll be able to see and hear things you never thought.
And here's the thing:
you could.
If we would all realize that, okay, I'm going to throw it out there. We are nature. We have forgotten. We are intimately tied to the natural system. We're so citified. But when you get out there and you start just relaxing into nature, you're going to notice a lot more. You're going to be aware of a lot more. So, yeah,
So
we got
there's
a flash mob.
We got a flash mob from Prepper Nation. Thank you, John.
Woo!
All right, thank you, all
Awesome.
the beaverines there. Okay, so
All right. Yeah. What sound do they make?
yeah, what sound does a beaverine make? All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll have
I
to
know
figure that
what
out.
I know what a lion's roar. I know what a lion's face is.
Oh yeah, that's a
It's a yoga.
yoga thing. Yes.
He doesn't want me to do that.
No, I don't.
Anyway, okay. What tips do you have for collecting physical evidence?
Okay, collecting physical evidence. We talked about this earlier about the plaster Paris, of course, for footprints. But like I said, that's a rarity. Every other year or so, I will find a footprint, and they're not all castable. Trust me. Some of them I find that are just
They've degraded
enough that you can't cast them. Or there's been times I found pristine footprints that I could cast and didn't have casting stuff with me, and a week later when I got back there, it wasn't there anymore, which is a bummer. So you need to casting material. That's one. Two, tweezers, plastic bags, rubber gloves. If you do happen to find hair or something you think is a hair, don't touch it with your hands. Take your tweezers, touch it, because we don't want to contaminate the DNA with human DNA, because it's hard to separate.
Remember, we're talking to 4th graders for this.
I know. So when I was telling her about the kids, one, the plaster Paris, but it's not that important. Tweezers and bags for
I would say
evidence.
For the novice, the most
for a novice, the most important thing is a camera.
Okay, speaking of cameras, do you have any advice for photographing? I don't know why that word was so hard. Photographing, casting, and measuring tracks. Talk about photographing first.
Photographing is the most important thing. That's the first thing you do. If you happen to find any evidence at all, take pictures and make sure you mark a location somehow, some way. 3rd tree from the right off the road.
Straight on till morning?
Straight on till morning. That one there. Yeah. So do that. Like I said, tape measure for measuring stuff. If you're taking photos of stuff, lay a tape measure next to it so we can get an actual measurement. Some people lay Bic lighters. I know the length of the Bic lighter. I can measure that.
What about angle? Do they need to take a picture straight down?
Straight down, sideways, every angle, all the way around, whatever you can. Take it. Okay. Just take a million pictures. I mean, it's not like we have filming cameras anymore. You can take as many as you want.
Okay. All right. And I think casting is really worth its own show. But
it really is. And I've got that question a lot, and I keep forgetting about it by the time we get back to the show. But I am going to do a video. I promise. Cross my heart.
Not a live show.
I will do an actual casting video. I did one, and it's somewhere back in our archives about casting in the snow, because people didn't think you could, but you can. But so I will do a casting
like a
video.
how-to.
A how-to.
All right. What about measuring? If you don't have a tape measure, give them some guidance. If for whatever reason you did not stop at the Dollar Tree before you went out squatching to get a tape measure and you don't have one, what can they use?
What can you use? You can pull. Now, here you go. Pull your 550 cord out that you got with you, because
they don't have that.
All right.
They use a shoelace?
Yeah, take your shoelace off and measure it with your shoelace, and then mark the spot on your shoelace, or take your knife and cut off your shoelace to the length of whatever it is, and then you can go home and measure the shoelace. Of course, if you got string or 550 cord or whatever in your backpack, that's a plus.
If you do happen to measure it with your own foot and you send it to us, please do us a favor and just send your shoe size along with it.
Exactly, because I actually have a chart that I can reference that says the shoe size and the actual length of the shoes. All
right, and ladies, don't lie. Okay, I wear a 9.5 wide, and I just stopped being embarrassed by it. Okay, last question, and then we've got some exciting stuff. Please share any details regarding your encounter experience.
Well, that's what we're going to do.
Shall we take a break first?
But we got a break. So, well, we're going to throw up a break. Don't leave. We're going to talk about some of the stuff, where we're going to be, what we're going to be doing, and all that doings.
So
we got doings.
Immediately coming up is 2 days from now.
2 days from now, I didn't put that in here.
2 days from now, if you're in the Eastern Oregon area, please come into Baker City, because the Ice and House Bed and Brew, I think that's what the Ice and House, they are having another concert on the lawn, and we will be set up in the vendor area for that starting at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. So you're going to want to come see us. It's free to get in. I think to be at the concert, there is a ticket price, but they're a really good band out of Portland. So come see them. I think they're the Journey cover band.
Yeah.
Or no, it's the band who opened for the Journey cover band. But anyway, they're super good. And the leader of the band, his mom is a friend of mine, so you really want to come.
Okay, there you go.
Shameless pitch, right? But that's this Saturday from 2 until it's over. The music starts at 8 p.m.
Yeah, and they've got good beer. Okay.
And I don't care about beer.
So, and then after that, we are going to go to Pocatello,
Idaho.
Ooh, I'm messing stuff up here. For this.
The Bigfoot Rendezvous 22, September 23rd and 24th in Pocatello, Idaho at the fairgrounds. We will be joining Cliff Barrickman, Dr. Jeff Meldrum, and Mark Mersel from the Ape Canyon Project. He is a really nice fella. He's a really awesome guy.
Yeah, and of course, you know Cliff Barrickman from the show Finding Bigfoot, and of course, Dr. Jeff Meldrum from every documentary ever done on Bigfoot. Mark, Hannah and I, Dr. Jeff, and Cliff will all be speaking. It's a 2-day event in Pocatello, Idaho, the 23rd and 24th.
Okay. And now, this would be a really good place to stop and introduce our new Squatch American.
What's that?
Hello. Adelaide's new family.
No, we got a whole thing on that. We're getting there. Okay. After that, we are going to be... Is it this one?
No, it's the train.
Okay.
October 1st, we will be...
I've got a thing for that.
Yes, you do.
No, here, you can read. Here we go. There you go. October 1st.
October 1st, sorry.
Eagle
we
Cap
will
train
be on
rides.
the Bigfoot Train 2 Rivers excursion. This train departs from the Elgin Depot and follows the shore of the Grand Ronde River to Rondawa, where it is joined by the wild and scenic Wallowa River. Along the way, be on the lookout for Bigfoot. You're guaranteed at least 3, possibly 4 sightings. Trust us on this. They are rumored to be in the area. Our guests for this ride are Bigfoot experts, Scott and Hannah Violet of Squatch America. I guess we're experts now.
I guess we are. Okay.
They will offer information and answer questions about the legendary creature. Is it real or a myth? The dog is breaking our house. A delicious boxed lunch is included and served along the way. And I will say it is a delicious boxed lunch. It was so good. It departs from Elgin at 10 a.m., returns about 2 p.m. It's a 38-mile round trip. Arrive early to peruse and shop the Squatch America booth at the depot before the ride. That's right. Buy our merch. Support the search.
Yeah, there we go. Then after that, we're going to be, what day is this? October 21st and 22nd. I got to hold this in up because I couldn't get it printed out in time. Yakima Valley Bigfoot Con. It's going to be October 21st and 22nd
at the Legends Casino in Toppenish, which is just outside of Yakima, Washington. And guess who's going to be there?
They're going to be
my favorite people on the planet.
I know, it's going to be us and
the sexy she-squatchers.
The she-squatchers are going to be there with us.
They are sexy. They're my buddies. I love them.
So they're going to be there
with
us. They
have got a fair amount of woo-woo going on.
I know. And then after that, for all you people down south, this is the long ways away, but April 29th, 2023, the Falk Monster Festival in Falk, Arkansas, where the legend of Boggy Creek happened. We are going to be there on that day for that one. So
I'm knocking on wood.
She's knocking on wood.
We were supposed to be there this year.
Okay, so we got...
So maybe that's an indicator that we're going to make our way back to the East Coast after all.
Renee giving the truck a tester? I don't know what that is.
That means we're going to drive the trailer with the truck.
Yep, that's it. Okay.
So,
anyway. All right. So, speaking of the truck, I got to get back to that. As you know, we had the Squatchmobile for many years. Adelaide for many years. We traveled around the country with her, uh, pulling our camper. That's actually our house. That's what we live in. Here in the photo. Just recently, we traded her off for this beautiful piece of machinery, whose name is Harry. The poll is in.
Yep. Speaking of polls, take a break. Speaking of polls, if you are on our mailing list, you received an email yesterday because we were late on the draw. But you received your weekly email yesterday, and in that email there is a poll that we would like. If all 497 subscribers would answer this poll, it would really help us know how to best, basically, the question is, how are you most likely to offer financial support? And it gives you a whole bunch of options. So please take the poll.
Yeah. Okay. So we got this truck. Now, you ask what happened to the old truck? This is
Adam Blanchard,
Ta-da!
otherwise known as Budget Off-Road. He's here in the audience tonight.
He is a proud owner of Adelaide, and I'm amazed they didn't take the stickers off.
Please don't take the stickers off.
That's awesome.
You will have the most unique truck in the area.
There you go.
But anyway, and he was asking us earlier, could we go Bigfoot?
Absolutely.
Together.
Next time we're in the area, we will truck right over
And
there. We'll get in touch with you. The new truck is coming together. We've got what?
On our way back from Pocatello.
On the way back from Pocatello would be a perfect time. Yes. We've got a lot of the stuff on the new truck. There's some more stuff we're going to throw in there. I'm actually going to do a video about when it's all done, all the camping stuff we got in there and bug out stuff and all the stuff. But the new truck is coming along. The 24-hour 360-degree surveillance system's already on it and working fine. It's been up for what, a week now. It has been working fine. So
he's been working 24/7 on this. So
yeah. So here's a little sneak. Okay, for all you Prepper Nation peeps that are sneaking in here.
Is that plan A, B, or C?
What?
Is Harry plan A, B, or C? I think that's plan C.
C.
Okay.
Okay. But anyway, so the truck has a surveillance system on it. It has camping gear in it 24/7. It has 3 months worth of food in it. It has
you're giving away the farm.
I know, we're giving away the farm. It has
see, John, this is what I have to deal with all the time.
yeah, it has its own water tank in it, propane, cooking, camping, all the stuff. So we basically can bug out in the truck and just live in the truck for 3 months, no problem. Which we use for Bigfooting. That's it. We go out in the woods for 3 months at a time, Bigfooting.
That's it. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
All right. So, okay. All right.
All right. So we're getting some.
Last question.
Oh.
And
we're done. Yeah, and then we're going to get to the Bigfoot photos.
Yes.
I'm going to rock your world. Okay.
Please share any details regarding your encounter experience.
Well, here we go.
They haven't heard this 67 billion times.
I know. I'm glad you asked. So my experience is finding footprints, like I said, every other year or so. That's became a common thing with me, which is really freaky. But if you look for them, you will find them. Build it and they will come. Kind of deal. But my experience is we found this pictograph just a couple weeks ago. By the way, we found a nest, like a birthing nest, that we're going to investigate on Sunday. So that might be next week's show. But I guess it's been 4 years ago now, right?
4 years.
4 years ago, I got this photo of a Bigfoot that I physically saw with my own eyes. And if you can't see it, it's in the center in that little brown spot and thing. But what's so exciting is after 4 years, I finally found a video enhancement, because this was 200 feet away from me. So when I zoomed in on it, well, my photo, it just becomes a blob, just like every other Bigfoot photo in the world. But we finally found a photo enhancement program that pulled out the right details. So
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen this.
this is it. So this is the zoom in on that. It's still going to be a bit blurry, but there's more details than you can imagine, because when we zoom in, you can see it now. Look at that face looking at you. The dark spots are the eyes. You can see the conical head at the top. You can see the brow ridge. You can see that little button nose. You can see the muscles in the pectoral muscles.
No.
Well, you can see
clavicles
the
and the pecs.
and
Pecs
yeah,
down
you
here
can
and
see the
clavicles up
pecs
here.
and the clavicle muscles. You can see the shoulder muscles on the one shoulder that you can see.
He kind of looks like the mutant. Who's the Avenger?
That thing that looks like a gash, that's actually a shadow on his eye.
Yeah.
That's not really
I
there.
was thinking he looks like that. Is it an X-Man who's the rock guy?
The Thing.
The Thing, yeah.
It kind of looks like the Thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was either a Bigfoot
Or the Thing.
or the Thing. On the Fantastic Four. So there it is. There's my photographic proof of Bigfoot.
All right. That's it. That's it. Do you have anything else you want to talk about in the last 8.5 minutes? I want to answer Patty. She asks, is there an option for more than $5? Right now, there's not. However, you can go to Buy Me a Coffee and do multiple donations of $5 each. You could do 8,000 donations. I don't, but
okay.
and you can
I'll look into changing that.
Yeah. Anyway, there are lots of things you can do.
Yeah. So I will look into changing that, Patty. Okay. More options, whatever. Donald Fuller saying, I'm thinking pareidolia.
Go.
Actually, Donald, I want to point this out. I do not take pictures and then try to find a Bigfoot in the photo.
No.
This actually growled at me. I could see it with my own eyes. It was weaving and back and forth in that little opening like this, looking at me. Can I prove it's a Bigfoot? No. Can we prove any photo of a Bigfoot is a Bigfoot? No. That's the horrors of today's technology.
You prove that documents in a toilet are particular documents.
No, you can't. So that's it.
I had to throw that in there.
So there's that.
All right. Bigfoot is protected by God. Well, I think we're all kind of protected by God, but I think no one gets a clear pic because you're not prepared to take a picture in the 14 seconds that they're there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, when you first see one of these things that aren't supposed to exist, it changes your paradigm. So you literally go into shock.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
kind of like I did when I first saw you in your orange curly mullet. That wasn't supposed to exist.
Yes, but at one time I did have an orange curly mullet. So there's that.
I was in shock for years after that. I think that's how all this happened. I was just in shock. You took advantage of it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So we have got 6.5 minutes left.
So any last things? Any for the good of the order, as they say. Patty just said her dog just took her dinner. That's sad. Okay.
You know, I tell our dog all the time, Daisy, do you ever see us begging for your kibble? Do we ever go there and try to sneak it out of the bowl? What? And she looks at me and says, that should say something to you, Mom. So I think we pretty much got
okay.
Not being a great right. Thank you. Would someone whack him upside?
What's it?
Howling in the Prairie is yelling at you.
What did you say?
I live with this.
I know. Yeah, I don't think I'm the best at that because I've always been. I don't want to let that ruin it. If I said I'm always been kind of come take it kind of guy, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah. And so let me tell you right now, I'm just going to say this. My outward presentation of not knowing what's going on is the best camouflage ever.
She does dumb blonde really well.
No. I do guru really well.
Oh, is that it? All right.
Okay.
All right.
I think we are at the end.
We're at the end. So Papa Craig, email me, squatchamerica.com.
All right. Someone wants to see the orange mullet. Go to my Facebook page and scroll back to our wedding picture. It's about 4 days ago.
Yeah. There's that.
Anna Burko Violet. I'm doing a whole photo series of our 25 years together.
Yep.
Some of them are pretty amusing, including his orange mullet.
Yep. Oh, and thank you, John, for throwing in, telling people, throw a thumbs up. We need that.
Yes.
Because we are shadow banned because I made a video about Bigfoot and masks and the C19 and YouTube didn't like it. They didn't think I was funny. All righty.
All right. So, well, is it that time?
It's close to that time.
You've gone way over your promised 40 minutes.
I have.
So, I think I don't have anything.
I think we're good. All right, folks. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for being with us. Thank you all Beaverines for jumping in the chat. Love it.
I have my patch. I just don't know what to put it on yet. I actually need to find. I need to find a plain navy blue cap, and I'll put it on a cap because I like those.
All righty.
So I hope you got a good plain navy blue cap.
So I hope you got something for it. Thank you, Flat Rock. You said you got little tips and tricks for Bigfoot hunting. So there's that. Thank you.
I will force him to do the casting video.
Yes,
I will nag him.
Okay, so coming up, we're going out Sunday to investigate a possible nest area out in the middle of the Unity area of Oregon, which is
out in the middle of
basically
godforsaken nowhere. There are a lot of cows.
Yeah, that's about it. So there's that. So
are you looking for the right thing?
I'm looking for that. Here we go. We found it. So thanks for watching, guys. We love you.
Just remember that our job is to investigate the unexplained.
Not to explain the uninvestigated.
So until next week, you keep watching and you're supposed to say that part.
And we'll keep squatching.
Yes. Go out and find Bigfoot.
Go out and find Bigfoot.